ओम परतत्वे सदा लीनो रामकृष्णसमाज्ञया यो धर्मस्थापनरतो वीरेशं तं नमाम्यहम्. We have been trying to study Swami Vivekananda's Bhakti Yoga, and the first there was Shatashatur Upanishad mantras pointing out the position of Ishvara, and there it was stated that the transcendent immanent reality alone is capable of ruling this universe eternally. And that is how the position of Ishvara was established. And then we came across the definition of Bhakti, chiefly on the basis of Narad Bhakti Sutras, and then Swamiji has tapped so many sources to define Bhakti so that we can see the different angles of Bhakti. And he has quoted from Brahma Sutra Bhashyas of Shankar, Ramanuja, etc. And then from Patanjali Yoga Sutra Bhashyas, and then according to Shandilya, Bhakti is intense love to God. And lastly he has given Prahlada's definition, which Prahlada asked as a boon. And then, coming back to Ramanuja, he has said that Abrahma Stambha Paryanta Jagadantar Vyavasthita Pranina Karmajanita Sansara Vashavartina Yata Tato Nate Dhyane Dhyane Namupakaraka Avidyantargata Sarve Tehi Sansara Gochara. Because everything from Brahma to the blade of grass is within the realm of Maya, so they cannot help us to go beyond this field of Maya. And so it is Ishvara alone which is we have to love. Then what is this Ishvara? Automatically this becomes the next idea or next subject for clarification. So he has taken up in the second chapter the philosophy of Ishvara, and there we saw, we read again from the beginning of second chapter. Who is Ishvara? He has taken up the Brahma Sutra Vakya first. That Vakya is for Brahma. But the same thing, Sagun Brahma, is called Ishvara. So, same Vakya is taking Janma Desa Yata, from whom is the birth, continuation and dissolution of the universe. He is Ishvara. Then the Shankar Bhashya on the same sutra he takes, the eternal, the pure, the ever-free, the almighty, the all-knowing, the all-merciful, the teacher of all teachers. We read up to this last time. And though the sentence is not complete, we stop there. And the half of that sentence is not from Shankar Bhashya. And above all, Sa Ishvaraha Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupaha. He, the Lord, is of his own nature, inexpressible love. Now, before proceeding, I appeal to all of you to find out the source of this quotation. In the Bengali complete verse of Swami Vivekananda Vani Varachana, source is given Shandilya Sutra. Number is not given. And I have with me the book published by Gita Press, Shandilya Sutra. And there are 100 sutras, and there this sutra does not exist. So, from where Swamiji has quoted this, I do not know. We were taking for granted somehow. Since this sutra is not in Narada Bhakti Sutras, it should be in Shandilya Sutras. But when we look into the Shandilya Sutras, standard edition, we do not find it there. But from wherever Swamiji has taken We can even think, if you do not give me any source, we can think that it is Swamiji himself. And so, we did not complete the sentence that day because I want to concentrate on this quotation given by Swamiji today. Today I don't know how much I will proceed, but I want to concentrate on this particular expression. Sa Ishaha, here Swamiji has given Ishvara. The other version which I remember or given in the Bengali book is Sa Ishaha. Sa Ishaha Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupaha. That Lord, and Swamiji here is saying, and above all, that means so many types Ishvara's definition has been given through Brahma Sutras and Shankar Bhashya. But Swamiji thinks that the better definition is this. So he says, and above all. Above all means better than all these definitions. Sa Ishvaraha Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupaha. There is a sutra similar to this in Narad Bhakti Sutras, please. It does not define Ishvara. Anirvachaniyam Prema Swarupam. That was the sutra there. We have studied that. Anirvachaniyam Prema Swarupam. So this prema which we feel for God, Satu Asmin Parama Prema Rupa, that prema cannot be described. Anirvachaniyam Prema Swarupam. Prakashate Kapi Patre. That is a similar, but it is a very different sutra. Here Ishvara is defined as Prema Swarup. There the Prema Swarup was described as Anirvachaniya. So, let us think of this sutra now. First of all, so that which is remote today, when we realize Him, we will not say that. It will become Aham. It will not be different or remote from me. To quote Swamiji, my God nearer to me. So then it will not remain remote. But it defines that today it is remote. So, who is he? Ishvaraha. Ishvara has only one meaning. The governor of this universe. The Lord of this universe. As Brahma Sutras would have it, Janmadi Asayata. But the word Ishvara denotes one who is ruling this. We have seen that in the Shatashatru Upanishad. So, start like this now. Let us concentrate word by word. So, something remote today, Ishvara, who is ruling this world, and when he is ruling this world, we have seen through Brahma Sutras that he cannot be remote. He is interpenetrating this world, and yet he is beyond. He is beyond, yet he is all-pervading. He is all-pervading, interpenetrating. All the power which I and you possess are his. All the knowledge which I and you have as his. That we understood through Brahma Sutras and Bhashya. So that is Ishvara. Now what is its nature? Why Swamiji is telling this? In his own nature, because the others' definitions are not touching his real nature. In Vedanta, there are two terms are used, Tatastha Lakshana and Swarupa Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana example is that a big ocean and you are standing on the banks and you are telling the ocean is like this or like that. That is called Tatastha Lakshana. But from inside the ocean, if you can tell something, then that is the Swarupa Lakshana. Swarupa means one's own nature. Tatastha means as he appears to us. So he appears to us as Janmasthiti, Srishthiti, Pralaykarta, Sarvagya, Sarvashaktiman, etc., etc. Now, how he is in his own real nature? That is called Swarupa Lakshana. Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupaha. So Isha Swarupaha. What Swarupa? Prema Swarupaha. Now, we can understand this best through Upanishads. If Ishvara is existence, consciousness, bliss, Satchit Ananda, this Ananda when experienced is called love, Prem. Prem and Ananda are not two different things. We are not thinking of the third-rate love in this world. That is not love, attachment. Love means God, God means love. Love means the Ananda Swarup of Brahman. Satchit Ananda Swarup is Brahman. If you pick up the Ananda aspect of Brahman, that is called love. This Satchit Ananda is an objective description of Brahman. Suppose it is experience, then you know what the terms become. Asti Bhati Priyo. Sat becomes Asti. Chit becomes Bhati. Ananda becomes Priya. Prema. What is Prema? Identity expressed outside as love between two things. It is actually not mutual attraction, but already existing identity. One reality appears as many. If other conditions become suitable to express, then we find two people loving each other. Not as morbid attachment, or as my Guru used to say, molecular attachment. It is not molecular attachment. It is not chemistry as it is called these days. Identity expressed as love. So love is an expression of identity. And this identity expressed is called love. One day I have given you another example of this, supreme example. How do you know reality? We know through incarnations alone. So, I had told you one incident from Holy Mother, if you remember, in this very Advaita Ashram forum. Holy Mother said, I am not repeating the whole story about two friends and all that. Holy Mother told that love which exists between any two people, I am that love which exists between any two people. Holy Mother herself, the reality itself, is love between any two people. That is the real nature of love. And when it is not understood, it appears as a chemistry or molecular attraction or all these forms. Or some relational. Mother loves the son, son loves the mother, husband loves the wife, wife loves the husband. There also Yajnavalkya has told Maitreyi that this love for the husband is not for the sake of the husband. It is for the sake of Atman which is already in those two beings. Love for wife is not for wife. It is because of Atman which is already in them. Love for a Brahmin is not for the Brahmin. It is because Atman is in Brahmin. Love for a Kshatriya is not for a Kshatriya. I am repeating what Yajnavalkya has said. Love for a Kshatriya is not for that Kshatriya. It is because Atman is common between the lover and beloved. And then he says, those who love other beings without knowing that they represent Brahman, that love itself will defeat them. Everything in this universe is loved or respected only because Atman is present there. Sarvam tam parada, yanyatra atmana sarvam veda. If anything and everything in this universe is taken as separate from Brahman, then that attraction for that person itself will be cause of your downfall. So with all this we understand now. In the Brihadaranyaka 147, 148 which I have been frequently quoting. How should Brahman be loved? That he is my own Atman. That is the only way you have to love Brahman. Then the forms may be different, mother and father and all that. The meaning is that he is my Atman. Then something about that Atman should be understood to love, some quality you have to hold on to. So in 148 it is said, Atman alone is Priya. So Preya Putrat Preya Vittat. So Atmanam eva Priyam Upasita. That Atman alone is Priya, that Prema flows towards Atman only. Atman is more dear than the sun, more dear than the wealth. And in that form only, Brahman should be worshipped as Atman, Atman should be worshipped as love. So Isha Prema Swarupa, up till now we have said this. We have not expressed the idea behind the qualifying word. Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupa. Anirvachaniya. Nirvachaniya, that is mother's love, father's love, son's love, friend's love, lover's love. That is Nirvachaniya. We have been able to put in words that love. That is called Nirvachaniya. Nirvachaniya means when something can be put in words, that becomes Nirvachaniya. So we have put in words that this is, he loves him like his father, he loves him like his brother, he loves him like his friend, he loves her like his wife, she loves him like husband. Mother loves son as son, son loves mother as mother. So these are the relational formats for that love to express itself. But that is not the definition of love. How can you understand love? Not through words, straight away. Love cannot be understood through words. And that is what Narada also had told. Anirvachaniyam prema swarupam. So God means love. God means that love which cannot be put in words. There he had said, we connect now. Narada had told, love cannot be expressed in words. Prakashate kapi patre, but we can feel it. We can feel it is expressed in a rare patra, a rare fit person, it is expressed. That is what Narada had told us. And then that love is God. That we have to connect through this sutra given by Swamiji. From where? Swamiji alone knows, or you please find out. So, that is how we connect now. God is love. God is that love which cannot be expressed in words. That becomes the meaning of this sutra. That love which cannot be expressed in words is God. Now I try to go near that by saying that it is identity expressed as love. We have seen that Holy Mother has said, she is that love between any two persons anywhere, if the love is worth its name. Now, how to understand it further when it cannot be expressed in words? Prakashate kapi patre. So through lives of some persons we can understand it. That is the whole substance of my talk up till now, is that God is that love which cannot be put in words, and according to Narad, Prakashate kapi patre, that means amongst certain people we can see it. Now, what I am referring to today is Swami Vivekananda Jayanti. 12th January is his birth date according to English calendar. And that has become current only from 1985 because the Swami Vivekananda Day was declared by Government of India as the Youth Day. So that came. We in India celebrate the birth day of any person as the configuration of moon for that particular day. That is called Tithi. Pausha Krishna Saptami, that is called Tithi. So, Swami Vivekananda's Indian calendar or real Janma Tithi is today. And I asked the sponsors of this program, the Advaita Ashram president, are we not celebrating Vivekananda Jayanti today? Because Holy Mother's Day we had celebrated. He said, no, we are not celebrating. We will have the Bhakti Yoga class. I want to use both. Because Ishvara himself is Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupa, but Prakashate Kapi Patre. So through Swami Vivekananda I want to tell you what is love. Now, who is Swami Vivekananda? Sri Ramakrishna's chief disciple. That is what we understand from as Swami Vivekananda. We do not take Swami Vivekananda as an independent entity. Sri Ramakrishna had many disciples. And to quote Swami Vivekananda, all of them have tremendous power. But chief amongst them is Swami Vivekananda. And Sri Ramakrishna himself has said that he is my chief. He will lead you. That Sri Ramakrishna himself has told. Now, what was his chiefship? Why he was chief? Why he was made the leader? We may say he had more buddhi than the others. He had more powers than the others. But I feel his chiefship depends upon his love for Sri Ramakrishna. No disciple, all the disciples loved Sri Ramakrishna like anything. Sri Ramakrishna loved all his disciples and the whole humanity like anything. There is no parallel to Sri Ramakrishna's love for Holy Mother or Holy Mother's love for Sri Ramakrishna. But among the disciples, Swami Vivekananda loved Sri Ramakrishna more than the others. Example, when physically Sri Ramakrishna was suffering from cancer, in those days the idea of cancer was not clear. And there was an apprehension in some people that it may be contagious. Though today we know that it is not so. And when it was declared, he had a sore throat to begin with. And they said it is clergyman's sore throat. But when the doctors and Ayurvedic Vaidyas, everybody conquered on this, everybody found out that it is cancer. Then the disciples serving him like anything. Swami Vivekananda found that a little contraction has come in them. Little contraction has come in the disciples' service to the Master after knowing that it is cancer. What he did, you know? The wound was washed, and that wash of the wound was in a glass present. And in front of everybody, Swamiji took up that glass and drank it in front of everybody. And from that moment, the contraction was lost. And everybody started serving Sri Ramakrishna with a full heart. Who can do that? Love. His love for Sri Ramakrishna was more than the love which any disciple had for Sri Ramakrishna, and that is what has made Swami Vivekananda the chief disciple. But from where it has come, if you ask me, Sri Ramakrishna loved all his disciples, especially Swami Vivekananda, infinite to the infinite existence. Now, which is due to what? You have to find out. Anirvachaniyam. Whether Swami Vivekananda loved Sri Ramakrishna because Sri Ramakrishna loved him, or vice versa, you find out. Now, so many incidents have happened in Swami Vivekananda's life. He has said, in the Great Master we have read that Sri Ramakrishna really loved me. Everybody in the world, including his mother, brothers and his brother disciples, everybody in the world, of course at that point he is not mentioning the brother disciples, everybody in the world, he says, make a show of love. There is a selfishness at the root of that love. Who can love infinitely? One who is infinite. One who has no selfishness alone can love. Selfishness always will obstruct love. Ego will always obstruct love. Who can love infinitely? Only God can love infinitely, because God is infinite. For God there is nobody who is a stranger. For God everybody is His own. For God everybody is His own manifestation. And so, infinite love is possible in God alone. There again I give you an example of the Holy Mother. Perhaps it was Nivedita. She got some good mango from somewhere and she presented it to the Holy Mother. Maybe some other disciple, this incident happened. Holy Mother said, you please eat it. She said that if you eat, Mother, I will feel very happy. Mother said, if you eat it, I will feel very happy. And then Mother challenged, tell me who will feel more happy? And the disciple agreed, Mother, you will feel more happy. Because we have some selfishness in us. You are absolutely unselfish. So your happiness will be infinitely more than ours. You understand? Coming back again and again there only. Remember this incident. A disciple got some very good mango from somewhere. So she thought it's best I give it to Holy Mother. She gave and requested, Holy Mother, you please eat it. Then I will feel very happy. Holy Mother said, you please eat it. I will feel happy. Then she said, but Mother said, you tell me now, who will feel more happy? If I eat, you will feel happy. If you eat, I will feel happy. But whose happiness will be more? And because the disciple was a wise disciple, she accepted, yes, Mother, you will feel more happy. We cannot. Now this is love. And again we go back to that when Mother says, I am the love which exists between any two people. And that is what Yajnavalkya is trying to tell Maitreyi. So, what is love? God. What is God? Love. What is love? Identity, expressed as joy. About Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda shifted to Holy Mother. About Holy Mother, Sister Nivedita has said one more thing. What is the type of love she loves? That is what she is analyzed. I do not want anything from you, but I feel happy if I see you. That is how she has defined. I do not want anything from you, but I feel happy if I see you. That is how Nivedita has understood Holy Mother's love for all. So love and happiness are not different. Now, this Ishvara, according to Narad Bhakti Sutra, this Ishvara is pulling all of us towards God. He is pulling every one of us towards himself. And I am told, the whole spiritual life, whole attempt at spiritual life has been summed up in one word in English: self-centripetence. In the world we see two types of forces, centripetal and centrifugal, towards the center and away from the center. And Swami Vivekananda has proved that centrifugal is a reflection of the centripetal. Centripetal cannot be said to be a reflection of centrifugal. The whole world moves, Swami Vivekananda says, because of love, because of the self-centripetence. But not being aware of that, we feel the centrifugal forces sometimes. I will give another example. One brilliant sadhak girl, in Mumbai I was there at that time, came to me and said, our love for God is one-sided. He does not respond. We only go on love. I said, you are foolishly talking. What capacity we have there to love? He is loving us infinitely and eternally. Because your mind has become little pure, you are able to feel that love. But ego has intervened. Our mind is compared to a mirror always. Now in the mirror we see virtual image, na? My right side will be appearing on the left side, left will be appearing on the right. So God's love for us appears as our love for God. We have no separate power to love Him. His love is reflected. In a slightly purer mind, the love is reflected. And if your mind becomes more pure, you will find that He is attracting you, not you. This is called Saishvara Anirvachaniya Prema Sarupa. And so, Sri Ramakrishna, now we say that Sri Ramakrishna loved Narendranath more than others. That is not true. The more the purity, the more that love reflects. Sri Krishna's example is given. How he played with the gopis. Parikshit is asking, Shukadev, God comes to establish religion. How did he play with women? Shukadeva replied, Reme Ramesho Vrajasundarivi Yatharbhaka Swapratibimba Vibrama. Ramesha, the Lord of Rama, Lord of Lakshmi, they say. Some people say Lord of Radha. Ramesha, Reme means, was finding happiness, pleasure, Vrajasundarivi, among the girls of Vraja. Yatha Arvaka Swapratibimba Vibrama. Visualize this. An infant is there. And he has been put in a room where all the walls are mirrors only. All the walls are mirrors, and an infant goes there. How many reflections he will see? Infinite, not four. If you have visited barber shop, if there are two mirrors in front, one front and one back, there is a reflection of that reflection, a reflection of the reflection of that reflection. So infinite reflections he will see, but an infant boy, infant will not understand it is my reflection. Infant will see himself. So Pratibimba Vibrama, what he will do? He will dance out of madness of joy. How many I am there? Recently, what you call a video has become viral. Twice it came on my cell phone. A small child is looking into a big mirror. But it is not like what I described now, not all sides. So he thinks that boy, myself, some boy is there inside. So he goes to the side and tries to look at that side. He does not find anybody, so he doubts. Again comes and again sees him. Again goes to that side to see who is at the back. That is called Vibrama. So, an infant looking at himself. Now, Gopi's hearts were so pure that Shri Krishna saw himself reflected in all those hearts. And that is how he played with them. That is the reply given by Paramahamsa Shuka to Raja Parikshit. Raja Parikshit had some impurity in his mind, so the question came. And Shukadev is totally free from any impurity. So Shukadev replies, Reme Ramesho Vraja Sundarivi Yatharbhaka Swaprativimba Vibrama. So, Sri Ramakrishna, well, again I am shifting from Vivekananda. Where did Sri Ramakrishna reflect maximum, you tell me now? Sarada Devi. Sarada Devi said, the first time I looked upon him, first time means she was married in a too young age. That is not the first time. At the age of 14, when Holy Mother was 14, Sri Ramakrishna has visited Kamarpukur. And because Holy Mother's home was very near Jarambati, she was called. That we can take as the first time. She said that when I saw him first time, from that day up till now, eternally, I feel a pitcher full of bliss has been kept in my heart. There is no pitcher there. Heart is itself described as a pitcher. Holy Mother's words are, I feel a pitcher full of bliss has been kept in my heart. And she passed through how many vicissitudes in her life. But she says, no crack or no breach has been there in that pitcher up till now. So, this is love. Purest heart. So, Sri Ramakrishna joy is reflected fully there. We go back in the course of history. Yesterday some sadhak, Vedantic sadhak has asked me to explain Sita. Why Sita was banished and all that, eternal question. But about Sita, what Sri Ramakrishna has told us, you know, when he had the vision of Sita, Sita entered into him. And he said, Sita has given her smile to me. Sita has given her smile to Sri Ramakrishna. What is Sita's smile? We described Sita as Janama Dukkhini and what not, separated from Rama for no fault of hers. But was she Murus? Outside she may be, pang of separation and what not. But if the love is clear, she had the smile. In Sri Krishna we see cancer and what not, but he had the smile. In the Gospel of Sri Krishna, from the first page to the last, Master Masha has described various situations for our meditation, visualization. Sitting in Dakshineshwar facing east, sitting in Balram Babu's house facing north or west, so many. But one thing constant, smile on his face. So, Satchidananda, Prema Swarup, Anirvachaniyam. Where now I am going on talking, can't express, because he is Anirvachaniyam, how can I express? But Prakashate copy patra I am trying to express. So, now, above all, Swamiji says, above all. When gopis, Uddhava went to teach gopis, and is telling, Krishna is the Lord of all, this or that. They said, we are not concerned with your Lord of all. We are concerned with Krishna who loved us. अभी क्लास चल रही है. We are concerned with Krishna who loved us. We are not concerned with your Lord of the universe. So, Prema Swarupa. So, Sri Ramakrishna loved all his disciples. Actually, Sri Ramakrishna loves the humanity. Otherwise, why would he suffer from cancer? Otherwise, why would he incarnate himself only out of love of world, only out of love of entire world? But it will reflect more in the comparatively purer minds. And so we see Sri Ramakrishna's disciples, they are telling, how much can we love him, love you? We cannot love you as Sri Ramakrishna loved us. And their disciples feel that how can we love more? Our masters loved us so much. Because this love is Brahman. This love is the Ananda Swarupa Brahman. And that is the one reality of the universe, one without a second. And so, the point is different. Point is that the more we can understand it, the more we can feel it, our life will be purified infinitely. We will reach God the moment. In the previous chapter, Swamiji has told, one moment of divine madness releases a man forever. If we can feel the infinite love of God, in Marathi there is a song, 2 lines I am telling. If God gives you with His infinite hands, how much can you receive by your 2 hands? Or in Sri Ramakrishna's words, he has given the word of example of drunkards. If after consuming 4 or 5 pegs, you become intoxicated, what are you concerned with how much pegs are there in the shop? That is Sri Ramakrishna said. How is Ishvara? What powers he has? What knowledge he has? What jnanam he has? What powers he has? He says, who is bothered? He is attracting me, I am getting attracted. More than that, what do you want? So Swamiji is telling, above all, to define Ishvara, he has tried his best through scriptures, mainly through Brahma Sutras and Shankar Bhashya, and after that he says above all. And we do not know from where this quotation has come. So Ishvara Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupa. Now at this moment, I may not be right. I have appealed to you to find out. But at this moment I feel it is come out of Swami Vivekananda himself. So another side of it let us see, through Vivekananda. When he was thrown into the worst circumstances, his father suddenly passed away, everybody in the house was hungry, his father had given freely more than he had earned, so they were in debt, and in such conditions, if somebody sang, "Oh Lord, you are like this and like that," Swamiji said, "Stop it." Those who are nothing to worry, they sing like that. Word started spreading that, and Swamiji was a person who was not afraid of criticism. He said that if I find going to wrong places or drinking gives you joy, I would do that. Word started spreading that he is doing that. And when the word went to Sri Ramakrishna, he did not respond in the beginning. But when Swami Vivekananda's supposed dearest friend Bhavanath weepingly said, "Sri Ramakrishna, we never thought that Naren will fall to such a depth." Sri Ramakrishna says, "Shut up, fool. Don't talk like that. I know he cannot fall like that." Swami Vivekananda was thinking, if he also feels like that I have fallen, who cares for it? If that is the value of human judgment, who cares for it? But when he came to understand that Sri Ramakrishna has not fallen in that trap, Sri Ramakrishna said, "Shut up." He said, "If you talk it again, I will not be able to see your face." He is complaining apparently about Vivekananda. And Sri Ramakrishna is telling, if you say this again, I will not be able to look at your face. And when Swami Vivekananda heard it, he said that he has given me full love with full freedom, full love with 10% faith. And there he said, even my mother, brother doubted me sometimes, but not he. So, the love always gives freedom. We have read that in Swamiji's Karma Yoga. And faith. Faith and freedom. That is the very definition of love. Not this, again I am telling, morbid attraction for each other, not chemical attraction for each other. And this we see on this holiest occasion of Swami Vivekananda's Tithi Puja today, birthday today. Now the same thing existed amongst all the brother disciples. When Sri Ramakrishna was suffering from cancer, he said one day, on more than one occasion perhaps, if you feel the trouble is too much, I can give up my body just now. But I am maintaining it. I am suffering this pain because I want to see all of you loving each other. I will go away. We cannot go anywhere. I will leave my body. When I see that all of you have started loving each other beyond measure, then only I will give up this body. And that is why all our forefathers, all our seniors in the Ramakrishna Mission, have been telling us that the whole organization is based upon one point, love. And love means freedom, and love means faith in each other. So, That is what Swami Kanda told directly also about Sri Ramakrishna. If I have to describe Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Kanda is telling. If I have to describe Sri Ramakrishna, I will say Love. That is what Swami Kanda said. If I have to describe Sri Ramakrishna, I will tell you Love. So, some personal element is coming here. One of our great Swamis, let me tell his name, there is no harm, Swami Trivikramananda, who was in charge of Vrindavan Center for a pretty long time. For the work of his ashrama, he wanted to purchase wood. And in Amravati near Nagpur, there is auction of this teak wood every month. So, and they declare a date and I auction that day. So he stayed in Nagpur Mutt for 1 month and used to visit Wardha, that Amravati, whenever this date was there. And after 1 month, when he was going away, he told my teacher, I will tell you, you are Love. So, you understand things. Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupa. Anirvachaniya. But we are helped by Narada telling Prakashate Kopipatra. So Prakashate Kopipatra I am trying to describe. And Swamiji is telling above all. This is the definition of Ishvara. He does not reject other definitions. Yes, he is the creator, preserver and destroyer of this world. He is all-knower. We saw on the last day. He is all-knower. He is all-powerful. He is omnipresent. He is omniscient. And there he had said, Parama Karunika, ocean of mercy. And but then he says, but above all, Sa Ishvara Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupa. And this, on this holy occasion of Vivekananda birthday, now Vivekananda's love for his disciples, let us take the other side. One of his disciples, Sadananda, he is telling, they were traveling together and something pinched Sadananda's feet and Sadananda was not able to walk and he felt sick and he was not able to walk. Swami Vivekananda lifted him along with his chappals or shoes and carried him in so many places. What is it? Love. What is it? Unselfishness. Selfish man cannot love. So, the more we are unselfish, the more we have understood or felt this Ishvara Anirvachaniya Prema Swarupa. And so, Sadananda has said that you cannot understand how much Swamiji has loved me. He has carried me. Now, there was another expression about this. In Bengali, they express that what? Guru's feet and Shishya's head. Or other way around. Guru's head and Shishya's feet. Yes, Guru's head and Shishya's feet. The meaning is that feet of the Guru belong to the Shishya. So Shishya's feet and Shishya's head belongs to the Guru, Guru's head. Somebody said, no, let us take the literal meaning. Guru's head and Shishya's feet, because Swami Vivekananda has carried me and my feet on his head. So, Girish Babu also said that, let us take the direct meaning. So, in the field of love, everything becomes topsy-turvy. You cannot define any superior or inferior. Now, I will give a small example. Language. Now, in English language, we have removed the word thou. Thou and you are two words. In Indian languages there are three words. In Bengali, tui, tumi and apni. In all Indian languages these three words are there. And about God, we always use the word tui. Because God is the nearest. I will tell you another thing, this nearest. Swami Vivekananda was criticizing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometime. So one of his devotees became very upset. Why are you abusing him? He said, then shall I abuse you? You will hit me. If I abuse Chaitanya, he is not going to hit me, he loves me. So I can freely abuse him. So, love will make everything topsy-turvy. And that, we go back to Narada's definition given by Swamiji, one moment of divine madness will make a man free forever. So, infinitely I can talk on this point. Swami Vivekananda knows how to love. A very small example I give you now. He is sitting with Holy Mother, and the knife, vegetable cutting knife or some knife is lying there. And Holy Mother asked him, please give me that knife. Swamiji immediately had the blade in his hand and put the handle towards Mother. What is this? Love. What is this? Unselfishness. And Holy Mother pointed out, see what Narendra is doing. So in very small actions this love can be expressed. We do not require a big advertisement, I love you, I love you. And so, like a mad person, on this occasion of Swami Vivekananda's birthday, I wanted to talk on Swamiji. And great Shuddhidananda Swami told him, no, we are not celebrating, you can talk on Bhakti Yoga. I said, all right. So, this is the one sentence, half sentence we learned today. Because the sentence was continuing. Who is Ishvara? Janma Jasya Yata, from whom is the birth, continuation and dissolution of the universe. He is Ishvara, the eternal, the pure, the ever-free, the almighty, the all-knowing, the all-merciful, the teacher of all teachers, and above all, Sa Ishvara, Anirvachaniya Prema Sarupa. He, the Lord, is of his own nature, inexpressible love. So, connecting him with the Brahman now will be the next lesson. That we shall see on the next day. Today we have tried to, in the common language they use a word which my Guruji did not like. Enjoy. We did not enjoy. We felt blissful. We felt happy. We were lifted. One small point I will tell you. There is a book, The Road Less Travelled, book on psychotherapy, not psychoanalysis. And there the author's name I don't remember. He says people generally say he fell in love. He said, why we should fall in love? Why we should not rise in love? So love is that force which makes us rise, not fall. Om Paratatve Sadalino Ramakrishna Samagyaya Yo Dharma Sthapana Rato Viresham Tam Namamyaham Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam.